Meeting of the Park Board of the City of Connersville is now in session. Please turn your cell phone ringers off. Pledge of Allegiance by Ann Kirshner.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Jeff Cooley,
Here.
Sharon McQueen,
Here.
Scott Keyfaber,
Here.
Benny Moshua, Ann Kirshner, here, Harold Gordon.
Here.
Reading of the minutes. Any additions or corrections? Any discussion on the minutes?
Everything looks good.
I make a motion to accept the minutes.
We have a motion to accept. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? New business. Board appointment. Welcome, Harold.
Oh,
We're glad to
that's
have-
me?
That's you. You're the new appointment. We're glad to have you. To be a little different on this side. Usually you were over there, but we're glad to have you.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Look forward to it.
Good. Second is the election of officers. I'll entertain a motion for president. Anyone?
I'll make a motion for Scott Keyfaber for president.
I have a motion for Scott Keyfaber for president. Anybody second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you.
We also need a nomination for the vice president.
I'll make a motion to nominate Jeff Cooley as vice president.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion is second for Jeff Cooley as VP. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, I guess. Superintendent's report. Catherine?
Do you want to jump back to Chad?
Oh, yeah. Mr. Mayor, would you like to talk about your new
Oh.
board appointment?
Yeah.
Nothing like being late for the first meeting, is there?
Hey, that's okay.
It's been a whirlwind. I do have my appointment would be Harold Gordon. As you can see, he's here. One of the first things I noted after the election was the article in the newspaper. He wanted to be on the park board. I knew he had a love for kids anyway. He's always involved with kids, and I thought, what a good fit. So that was the whole purpose and the agenda. I think he'll do a fantastic job. If not, Catherine take care of him.
Yeah.
So. No, he'll do fine.
Mayor,
So. So that is my appointment for the park board. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. We need to build a strong relationship together so we can move forward together. That is my goal. So, and many of you on here already know me and know my door's always open. A little busy right now, but the door's always open. So,
thank you, Chad.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, now superintendent's report.
December revenue on your paper there is $16,227. Expenditures $56,754.94. And our year end was at $261,635.33. In activities and programming, we will have toddler time up again this month on February the 21st at 10:30. We'll have it February, March, April. Are we doing May too? Or are we stopping?
Stops in April.
Stops in April. So 3 more months. And we're stopping then because of summer camp. We'll be getting into summer camp by May. So 3 more months of toddler time. Indoor soccer. We have 4 third through 5th grade teams and 3 6th through 8th grade teams. Our next upcoming sport is spring soccer. Movies in the park is going really well. I was hoping to get 10 sponsors and I have 8. So if anybody's watching and would like a good way to spend $350, please bring it to the park for a movie. The next thing on the
Catherine, one thing on
Yeah.
the movies. Did you contact Showtime Cinema to make
No,
sure?
not yet.
Okay, you need to contact them to make sure you don't show something that they're showing.
Oh, right, yeah.
So,
I
okay.
probably won't be showing like new releases.
Okay.
Mine will probably be a year old or so. They'll
Well,
still
well,
be
that-
current.
Well, they may not even want them that young. They may want them older than
Okay.
that. So, but talk to them there first.
Okay. The next big program we're working on is concerts, so we're gonna start getting some sponsor material together for that and getting that out to the public. We will open over spring break for camp. So as people are making their vacation plans and maybe you're not taking the kids this time, the park will be open for camp. And we'll also be starting to hire soon for seasonal help. So we'll have maintenance positions, pool positions, camp positions, lots of jobs available to young people. So that's all I have, unless you guys have any questions.
How old do the kids have to be to work at the camp?
I think it's 16.
Is it 16?
16 to be a counselor.
Okay.
And we do require CPR training, but we do provide that. And that's really all you need.
Yeah, who's gonna be your instructor?
Carrie.
Carrie? Okay.
Yeah, she'll be the lead.
Okay.
I already have an applicant, Olivia McMillan. She is working on her rotations, and she is not coming back to town for the summer. But I already have another applicant for the other coordinator position. But Carrie will be coming back as the main person. And she does an excellent job, so really glad she's coming back.
Any other discussion on the superintendent's report?
How are things coming on getting the volunteer board for the baseball situation?
We have 11 applications. They are due on Friday. And then we will review those. And Chad's asked to take a look at them. I'm going to go over them with Dennis, and then we'll make some selections and go from there. So lots of good applicants. Several people from the previous board. So
Good.
So how many are you going to accept?
I'm not sure.
You haven't decided.
My
Not
goal
really.
was to my goal was to keep it small, because I don't want it to get so big that, it's not efficient. We do want to have the input from the baseball coaches and softball coaches. But then I've got several people who have many years of experience with the previous board. And then I have several people who have lots of experience in baseball and who've never served on a board. And it would be great to have new people come in. So, to be honest, right now I'm still kind of torn. My goal is to still keep it 3, 4, 5, I don't know. I don't want it to get too out of hand. So
So will this board be hiring them, or will you be hiring them?
they'll be
Appointed.
appointed. They're not going to be paid.
I mean, yeah,
so,
but who's going to
yeah.
appoint them, this board, or?
No, I will.
Okay.
My only concern is the scope of the job that has to be done. And if you have board members and you have volunteers, you're gonna need a whole lot more volunteers than 3 or 4 to get this done. And since this is the first time down this road, I'm just concerned that the people are gonna get overwhelmed. Because if you've not done this before, it's a huge job to get everything coordinated and get done in the time. Harold and I've been involved with that for a really long time. It takes a lot of time to do. So a real small board may sound good in theory, but in practice, you just may need some more people.
How many people was on the previous?
Let me count.
Oh, they had like 18 at one point.
Well, but a lot of those weren't really.
But I want to be clear too, and that's a good point you bring up. You do not have to be on this board to volunteer for baseball.
Right. But
That
as
is
far
not
as,
a requirement. It's
but
not
as far
like,
as actual workers were concerned, there was 1, 2 majors, minor A, minor B. There were actually about 6 people, board members, that were really involved with the nitty gritty of the situation. That was the core. There were a lot of peripheral members on the board.
Right.
But as far as those that were actually in charge of getting projects done and making sure that, there was probably 5 or 6 that were involved with that. And it was a big job because you've got minor A, you've got minor B, you've got majors, you've got a lot of work that needs to get done. And this is the park's first time doing this. And I think that it's just gonna be some work involved, and not wanting to frustrate anybody by saying, oh man, I've not done this before and it's just kind of too much for me to do. Because it takes a lot of volunteers, but it also takes a good number of people to get it steered, because you've got so many segments to the situation.
That's good.
And I just think this board needs to appoint these people, because if there's anything done wrong, this board and the city's gonna be responsible for it. So that's what I see, is this board should be making those appointments
Or,
with her recommendations, but I think this board should be appointing them.
I mean, in the sense of being actively involved, much like we do at the school board, they make recommendations for employment from the HR people, but it's the board that has the final decision on who gets hired based on the recommendations of the.
Or even if it went through the mayor's office. So,
It's just a
Well, let's-
it's a
since this-
procedural thing we've not had to deal with
Yeah.
before.
Let's do this, because I want a collaboration on, I believe in collaboration more than anything, but if you have too many people making decisions, you never make a decision.
Right.
What if Catherine and I and the president, are you the president now, sir? I'm sorry, who's the president?
Scott.
Give you a-
Yes, ma'am.
Guess I should be able to read. We'd be able to sit down and go through them all, kind of making a recommendation to the board, and is that?
I think
Yeah.
that's a better approach, just due to the fact that, we're not gonna be working with these folks on the new board.
Yeah,
She is.
right.
Okay, and we can read over a list of names, we can read their CEs and read all that and find out, okay, yeah, this one looks great, but she's the one to talk to them.
Ultimately, she has,
Okay, she's the one that's gonna have to make the final decision on sitting down and dealing with these people every day through baseball season.
right.
So, yeah, I think that's a better, leaning on her
Since
because.
this is just a committee, when I was at the IPRA conference back in October, there were a couple of lawyers there who did some presentations on open door policies and things like that, and I spoke to them about the possibility of this committee, and it was their recommendation to me that I appoint them as the superintendent, because it is a committee, but we can talk more about that.
I would say the three of us just sit down and look at them. Ultimately, it is going to be up to you, because you're going to be working with them. I'd never put someone in that you can't work with, that'd be foolish. But I do like the collaboration model better. So we can all three sit down, look at them, and you can make your recommendation at that point.
Any other discussion on the superintendent's report? All right, I'd entertain a motion to accept the superintendent's report.
All motion accepted.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Catherine.
Mhm.
Old business, work list.
Since we met last, I kind of broke this down by week just so I could give you a better idea of what the guys do every day. Since we met last, we spent a day down at Babe Ruth cleaning out the concession stand, getting rid of the things that were left behind. We also spent a day down in the basement of the Roberts Building, just doing some spring cleaning, getting rid of things that have sat around. The guys had painted the banquet hall. We've started our truck inventory, and we have updated the Red Cross building with new paint. There was a lot of drywall repair that needed done before they painted too. New lights, new fans. They took down the Christmas lights with the help of the utilities, the ones that were up on the poles. And right now we're about, I'd say 2/3 of the way done painting the gym at the Miller Building. Steve has been out on the bulldozer at River's Edge. There are 4 main things that we're working on out there with the bulldozer. The first one is a knob near the concession stand that was too high, so he's been working to smooth that area down. That's 90% done. where you drive, the second thing is where you drive around on the road, like from the playground toward the amphitheater. The road is very close to the brush, and he is going to use the dozer and the backhoe to clear that, so you're not constantly running into it with your car. He said that's about 75% done. The third thing is the trail that was funded by Reed Health. It goes from the northwest corner of the array, the solar array, down the hill. It goes along the river, but it's not going to get flooded. And then it comes out at the canoe launch parking lot. That's going to be a gravel trail, and that's about 90% done. And the fourth thing that we're working on is the entrance where you come in off Veterans Memorial. I don't know if you remember, but there was like a giant mound of dirt with weeds. It was really pretty. I don't know if you've driven by it recently, but it looks like
It looks a whole lot better.
100% better. So that's the fourth thing that we're working on, and that's about 75% done. So we have the bulldozer until February the 6th. So we had it for 30 days, and I'm very confident we can get all 4 of those things done in the next 9 days, however many days we have left. So
Okay, what about the dugouts down at Little League? Well, you got that bulldozer, that'd be a good time to take those down.
we talked about that. The problem with using the bulldozer is they will only deliver it to one place, so we would have to pay them to come get it and take it. But that's going to be on our work list for February. We can knock
Okay.
that down with the backhoe.
Okay.
So that's going to be on the list for February.
Have you got any plans on the park police building there in the park?
Not right now.
Okay.
For February, where we're headed with that is we have about 30 trash cans to finish repainting. Sounds monotonous, and it is, but it's something that needs to get done. There's some conduit that we need to fix out at River's Edge. We need to finish taking the Christmas lights down. The Fair Board has said they're going to give us $1,000 to build 10 picnic tables. If we do receive that funding, that's something we will work on in February. Oh, you did? Oh, we got it. So yeah, that will go on for February. And then about the middle of February, we'll start working on the senior field because the middle school will start using that baseball field.
Are you gonna be able to fix the scoreboard there? Cause it hasn't worked in years on the senior field.
No,
And I realize the cost involved with that, but we need to have a viable scoreboard down there, even if it's something small like we have on the other fields. Because the.
well, I don't want to invest a lot of money and then move. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, but.
So we have the board down there that Eric Myers had made,
Right.
and I'm hoping that he will leave that for us to use.
Yeah, the flip board.
The flip board, yeah. We are going to be looking toward lots of improvements in the park, which takes a lot of planning. We really need to work on the barns, the horse barns. But you've got to start with pricing. So some of February is going to be spent on what can we do, how much will it cost. There's lots of things we need to do to the Miller building. Again, it's the time it takes to work, getting contractors in, getting different bids. And I'm going to need the guys' help with that. So that's another thing we're going to work on. The rest of this week, we're going to finish painting the gym. Steve will continue with the bulldozer. And then Pete and Steve are going to take their CDL test to get that taken care of. We're working with Brad and his staff to get everybody to do that around the same time. So that's where we're headed.
Okay.
And I'm assuming in March it really becomes very busy because we have soccer, we have so many things starting up in March. We have baseball tryouts, we'll have soccer, we'll have other kinds of signups, so get the other stuff done before we, before,
When do you-
That's the blame.
before,
When do you plan on baseball signups?
That's something we're gonna talk about with the committee.
but you already have opening day set for May 2nd.
Yeah.
Anything else, anyone? Okay, moving on. Anyone have any miscellaneous business to discuss? Nope. All right, claims. Any questions on claims, including payroll? No. All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the claims.
All motion.
A motion and a second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll accept the claims. Public forum, anyone want to say anything? No? Okay. Before we adjourn, welcome, Harold. It's
Thank
good
you
to
very
have
much.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Jeff, do we have anything on the veterans thing in May? Do we have any new updates on
Oh,
the parade or anything like that in May?
don't think so.
Heard anything new?
Okay, because from my understanding, they were gonna solidify pretty much what facilities that they needed
Mm.
by now, because they weren't sure the last time he was in here exactly what they were going to, they had a pretty good idea of what they were going to need for that weekend, but they weren't completely,
I think we passed that in November.
Mm.
Was
Yeah,
it?
I
or
think,
November or December, one of
Yeah.
the two, but I think there was
You-
some wiggle room with that, with Adrian.
yeah, he was gonna come back
He
and,
was gonna come back and tell us, give us a more clear timeline and events and
Yeah.
facilities that he would need, because there was a lot that was, I think we're gonna need this, but I'm not sure, kind of stuff going on. But that's in May, so that's something that,
I think we, we passed that, and then I guess that's what he gets.
yeah,
He didn't, I mean,
yeah,
Yeah, because he started out with the entire park,
yeah.
and then he brought it down.
I think he did kind of narrow it down.
He did kind of narrow it
Yeah.
down, but from what I've heard, because I'm on the committee for that, is it may be scaled a little bit more. So, I just was wondering if he'd contact, because I've been asked to serve on a committee for that, and it would involve scaling back on some of the stuff that he had, that we had agreed upon, so, which could change how much we charge and all that good kind of stuff, so.
Okay.
I can send him an email and ask him to come. And
I think for the fairness of everybody, I think we could use an update, because that's in May, and that's gonna be on top of us before we know it, and we've got so many other things going on in the spring with the sports programs and other things. It'd be nice to have a clear sense of what's going on that weekend.
I will get in touch with him.
Okay. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
I have a motion to have a second.
I'll second.
Motion to second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We adjourn.